Tonight, Yevgeny Prigozhin, the leader of the armed mutiny in Russia, now in exile in neighboring Belarus, according to a senior US official, who says Prigozhin is surrounded by a huge security force, his mood described as forlorn and uncertain. Today, Alexander Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, revealing new details of the negotiations that led to the halt in Prigozhin's march on Moscow over the weekend. Lukashenko saying he managed to get the Wagner mercenaries leader on the phone, warning him you'll just be crushed like a bug if he continued to advance on Moscow, and that his demands for the Russian defense minister and military chief of staff to be fired were unrealistic. Prigozhin eventually withdrawing his troops. Today in Moscow, Putin publicly thanking military and law enforcement officers for having saved our homeland and stopping a civil war.
A bustling pizza restaurant in downtown Kramatorsk, reduced to a smouldering mess of twisted metal and broken glass. The missile struck mid-evening at a popular shopping plaza, making civilian casualties far more likely. Among those killed was a 17-year-old girl. An 8-month-old baby was also reportedly injured in the attack. Kramatorsk is one of the largest urban centres in the east still under Ukrainian control. Less than 25 kilometres from the front line, it's been a regular target of Russian missiles since the war began.
Two Russian frigates were detected off Taiwan's east coast on Tuesday. Taiwan scrambled its aircraft and ships in response to the Russians. The island's Ministry of National Defense issued a statement regarding this incident. It said that two frigates were detected at 11 p.m. local time. The ships sailed up north near Taiwan's east coast. After the approach, the frigates departed southward off the port city of Suao. Upon detection, Taiwan dispatched military aircraft in response. Taiwan also activated shore-based missile systems after detecting the frigates. Russian state media termed the movement of the frigates as a simulated naval battle.
One short video, that is all that's needed to send a message. This rocket did not pose any danger, crashing into the ground almost as soon as it was launched, but the warning is out there: rockets in the West Bank. It is worrying but far from surprising. The northern West Bank is beginning to look more and more like Gaza. Rocket launchers were previously found, and just last week an IED exploded under an armored car in Jenin, injuring 7 soldiers. Where's the money and the knowledge coming from? As always, from Iran.
When 17-year-old Niall started to drive away during a police traffic check, it cost him his life. An eyewitness filmed the police performing the check, one pointing a gun at the driver. When Niall began to leave, the officer fired, killing the teenager. The police's original version of events claimed that the driver tried to hit the officers, but videos showed them beside the car, holding the driver at gunpoint, threatening to shoot. The victim's family will be pressing charges. One of the officers is now in custody for homicide.
The Department of Justice has issued a report on the death of Jeffrey Epstein. The report lays out in detail what it says are failures that occurred starting a month before Epstein died by suicide at the Metropolitan Correctional Center here in Manhattan. Among its findings, the DOJ says there were numerous and serious failures by the correctional staff, including failing to ensure that Epstein was assigned a cellmate. The report also says that the staff failed to undertake required measures designed to ensure that Epstein was accounted for and safe. It also clearly states that Epstein did die from hanging by a noose he fashioned from a sheet or shirt, and there is no evidence contradicting the FBI's finding that there was no criminal activity associated with Epstein's death.
tonight, the famous picturesque shores of Panama City Beach, Florida, now the deadliest beach in the nation after 3 more tourists died over the weekend, raising the death toll to 7 so far this year. Popular destination for tourists from all over the world, these beaches also have prevalent dangerous rip currents that can quickly turn summertime fun into tragedy. Rip currents are strong and narrow streams of water that can suck swimmers out to sea, making it extremely difficult and exhausting to swim directly back to land. According to the National Weather Service, so far this year, there's already been 55 deaths in the surf zones off U.S. shores due to rip currents.